where did fitness fit into your vision of this channel from the start? Because you have a great fitness background, but you certainly don't speak to fitness in every video.
No. Fitness is my love. It's my first love. Just to give you a little weird backstory, when I was 12 years old, my mom gave me a membership to a gym. And I come from a pretty tough, I had some crappy stepfathers. And so my home life wasn't the best. But when I was at the gym, I found myself and I felt confident and I felt good. And so from the age of 12, I knew that that's what I wanted to do with my life. And so from that age, I decided I was going to own a fitness center. And the only thing that meant success for me was to own a chain of nutrition stores and fitness centers and all of this. And so that was it. That was the goal. There was nothing else in this world that would fulfill me. And so, fast forward, graduate from college, I open up a few nutrition stores. That was great, but my business partner, he was not the ideal business partner, and we didn't jive in terms of ethics. It was funny because I joke that, I knew at that point that I would be popular in prison. I wouldn't thrive in prison. And so I needed to separate from him. And I met a woman. I helped her lose 100 pounds. And she said, hey, I want to help other people do this. Would you want to open a personal training studio with me? And it was like, jackpot, this is it. And so, did that for a few years, tried to expand into a group fitness facility. I was a competitive natural bodybuilder for a few years. I won natural nationals in the SNBF. It's a southern small little nothing you've heard of organization. But it was something that, it's always just been what I've been passionate about. And so when I started the image consulting, fitness has always been a part of my life. It's something I do every single day. It's who I am. And I truly feel that working out was the single best decision I've ever made in my life, because it is the single thing that has impacted my self-esteem in a positive way like nothing else could. And so, fitness is just, it's always been part of me. And so being able to evolve Alpha M into a little bit more fitness and give some more advice is something that I just love and my guys love as well. Sure. Because they don't see me as like a fitness expert, but I do have a deep knowledge and experience with it.
Sure, and they nutrition as well.
They may be surprised, to learn that you were a competitive bodybuilder.
Yeah.
What did the rigors of that really give you? I mean, because we've had many competitive bodybuilders on the podcast. What do you feel like that experience left you with?
It was funny. I loved competing, and I was a competitive wrestler. I did all the competition things, and so I was needing something to scratch my itch, and I just always loved working out and developing an aesthetic, physique basically. And so, no, it was amazing. It's funny because, I tell people that the one day that you look your best, you feel your worst. It is incredibly hard on you. I mean, everything, from your, your mood to your sex drive. Like when I was competing, when it was getting down, I didn't want sex. I wanted a pizza, right? Like that was it. And so it was good.
Me a water bottle.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, it was something that I think I did that for a while. And then my I don't know, I guess I lost interest a little bit, but I still love looking good and feeling good and confident with my shirt off.
Sure. Did you have an icon or a specific bodybuilder that really spoke to you and said, all right, okay, this is kind of, this is the way to approach this?
I love all the old school guys like Frank Zane. And I mean, I'm 41 years old. And so I grew up, reading Flex and Muscle and Fitness. And so it's the Rich Gasparis and all those guys, the Flex Wheelers. It was before, Francisco Benefi, what is his name? Francis Benefi. He's an Italian guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't want to
great
butcher
hair,
his name.
real aesthetic. He wasn't huge, but I love that whole Frank Zane, sort of small waist, nice wide shoulders, just very aesthetic. That was something.
Where you're allowed to have hair. I feel like everybody looks like a bullet now.
No one has hair anymore. I love that you're coming at bodybuilding from kind of an image consulting perspective, because that's how I got into coaching and coaching competitors, is, people would train for weeks and weeks and months on end, and then they'd show up and not know how to walk in heels, not know how to pose, not know that they need to tan. And it's like, come on, there's so much more that goes into it besides lifting heavy things. So in this program that you're designing with us, are you kind of going to throw some of those little tips on how to look good?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the program, it was really amazing developing this program. They bodybuilding was like, hey, 6 weeks, diet, nutrition, working out, it's yours. Do what you do and what you would recommend. And so it's a lot of working out. There's a 6-week program, which is pretty intense, but you can modify it based on your experience level and how intensely you want to work out. There's diet. But then I also go into some of the other components, the lifestyle hacks, the grooming, the style tips, just so that it's a more well-rounded approach to just feeling incredible and looking great.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's one thing I really like about it. It feels like it's the foundation of kind of a whole life revamp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So now, is the weight room for you, is it a community place, or is it a place where you go to figure stuff out on your own? Are you a lone wolf in that space, or are you out there talking? Like what is that? What is that space for you?
No. I love working out just by myself. Put my earphones in. It's a time for me just to kind of be by myself and do my thing. But that being said, there are 2 guys that I'm great friends with that I work out. I meet, a few days a week to work out, but then I'll usually come back in the evening or something and do something else. And so it's a little bit of both, but I love the community aspect of it. I love the fact that everybody's there, to do the same thing, and that is just feel great about themselves.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, looking back at my own teen years, I remember the weight room being this place where other men went and it seemed like they wanted me out of there, And there are a lot of people who look at that place and they have trouble trusting it, or they have trouble feeling comfortable there. What do you say to a guy like that who's sees the value, the writing's on the wall?
Yeah,
right?
they one of I think the biggest reasons why people don't start that program or don't end up in the gym is because they're scared of what the other people in there will think, and the perception of I don't want to look like I'm new, I don't want to all these big muscular guys that know more than me. The truth is that they don't care about you. They do not, they're not worried about what you're doing. They're so focused on themselves. And my experience is everybody in there will help. Like if you've got a question, it's no sweat off anybody's back to answer a question or, just go, get yourself there. That is the hardest place to start, and that first step of just going there. But you do it enough times, eventually you'll feel comfortable and it'll change your life.